Going back to my normal ways at school is not possible. Going back to our normal ways at school for anybody that's ever been through this will never be the same way again.
David Hogg's morning routine is about the only thing that will be routine for him today.
An emotional tribute to the victims of the shooting, members of the Never Again movement putting together a candlelight vigil outside of the Florida House.
He's a core member of that student-led Never Again movement.
We do have a major gun violence problem in this country. We need a multifaceted approach. This is a time for our country to take a look in the mirror and realize there's a serious issue here. Clearly, the older generation have failed us.
His goal? To make sure a massacre like the one that happened at his school 2 weeks ago never happens again. But this morning, the 17-year-old is laser-focused on just getting to school.
By no stretch a typical day when you have to take your kids back to school after a shooting.
In a few hours, David and his freshman sister Lauren will confront a new reality.
Lauren keeps saying she doesn't want to do this, and I'm like, we got to get through this. We don't have a choice. Okay, we ready to do this? We're all going to school. I'm going to lock the back door. Go.
Okay. I can't lock the back door.
I'm like scared, but also I'm kind of happy because I'm going to get to see some of my friends that I haven't seen in a while.
It also kind of sucks because normally when we're on our way to school, when I turn in, I see Coach Weiss. He's not there today, and he won't be any other.
Coach Weiss used to wave and smile at literally every single person that walked in. So that's going to be tough for a lot of people.
Tough doesn't even begin to describe it for senior Sam Zeif and his younger brother Matthew. They both were in the building where the shooting took place and barely managed to escape.
I have no idea what it's about to be like when we walk in. Because we can't go back to normal.
Last week, Sam was at the White House making an emotional plea to the president.
I don't understand why I could still go in a store and buy a weapon of war, an AR. I was reading today that a person 20 years old walked into a store and bought an AR-15 in 5 minutes with an expired ID. How is it that easy? So let's be strong for the fallen who don't have a voice to speak anymore. And let's never let this happen again. Please, please.
I don't think we're going to be doing anything academic at all because we're not bringing our backpacks. Thank you. Thank you. You too.
At Stoneman Douglas today, a sea of police officers on site to welcome the students.
Why do you think they're here?
So people feel safe.
But for some of these kids and their families, the memories of the shooting still raw.
I'm about to scream in rage, like it's hitting me.
Just 2 weeks ago,
there's an active shooter situation in South Florida. Reports are just coming in, but we don't have a lot of information.
I was in my AP Environmental Science class when the first gunshot echoed through the hallways.
I hear at least 9 gunshots. It was just one after the other after the other.
We ran to get out of the line of shot as quick as we could.
It was probably the scariest day of my life because I didn't know if I was going to make it out alive.
I took a book up and I held it up like this, and I was holding it. It was just a defensive measure, and it helped me feel a little better, like I was safer. He kept shooting through the rectangular window. It hit 2 people who were near to me. One of my best friends, Helena, it hit her.
And we ran out of there with our hands up, running for our own lives.
I found out later that day that 17 lives were lost.
the principal hoping that the students return to school today can be a day of healing, tweeting that his focus today is on emotional readiness and comfort, not curriculum. The students first stopped their 4th period class, the same period they were in when the shooting began. The idea to allow them to spend time with those students they were with when the shots rang out.
When I got into the classroom, it was kind of like everyone stared at each other and got a little silent, and then we all kind of like reunited.
Teachers even employing the help of therapy dogs. The freshman building where the attack occurred closed, and it will never be used again. A reminder that the school is far from whole.
Today was a weird, strange, emotional day.
How so?
In my Spanish class especially, because one of our students didn't show up today because He was one of the 17, so that was very upsetting.
Another one of the students who wasn't at school today, 18-year-old Meadow Pollock.
She was my baby, she was my princess, she was everything, so.
Last week, Andrew Pollock's pain and anger evident at a listening session at the White House, his two sons beside him.
We're here because my daughter has no voice. She was murdered last week and she was taken from us. Shot 9 times on the 3rd floor. All the school shootings. It doesn't make sense. Fix it. It should have been one school shooting and we should have fixed it. And I'm pissed because my daughter I'm not going to see again.
I was giving it to the president. It was everybody as a nation. That's what I was saying. How could this happen? My son's friend put these together.
Now he's channeling his grief into action.
I have the heart of a lion right here. No one could stop me. Nobody. We have the opportunity in this country to be proactive and fix it. That's what Meadows' movement is. It's about fixing what's not right.
But he's skeptical that any federal gun control legislation will pass.
Tomorrow I'm going to the White House, and I really don't even know why.
Though Andrew does remain hopeful that some measures proposed recently by Florida Governor Rick Scott will be successful.
We have to get something done. There's no alternatives.
The bill is very important for school safety, for mental illness, and for the police. Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be back in Tallahassee at the state capitol, meeting with people that are going to decide whether this bill is passed or not.
To think about the loss and the grief that those kids and those parents had, we said we need to do something, and we're taking these guns out of all of our stores permanently.
Today, Dick's Sporting Goods announcing that all of its stores would no longer sell AR-style rifles. The company also deciding that firearm sales would only be to buyers over 21, and they will no longer sell high-capacity magazines.
We're staunch supporters of the Second Amendment. I'm a gun owner myself, but we've just decided that based on what's happened and with these guns, we don't want to be a part of this story.
And now Walmart also raising the age restriction to 21 for firearms and ammunition as well. Back at Stoneman Douglas, a remarkable 95% of the student body brave enough to come back to school today.
Welcome back.
And after they finished their day, a small sigh of relief.
We were just comforting each other, talking to each other. We hugged most of our teachers, if not all of them, and they just gave us speeches about how they're here for us, no matter what.
So what the principal said, this is about the healing process. He meant it.
Curriculum comes second, but we come first.
For Nightline, I'm Victor Oquendo in Parkland, Florida.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.